Check 1 2, check 1 2. Miami on the Rocks, Casey Chopz. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at MIA on the Rocks. Follow us on YouTube. Today's guest, I usually, don't want a lot of music people in here. All you rappers in my DMs, I'm trying to figure out what I could do for y'all, But if I'm gonna have people in the music game here, they gotta be moving, they gotta be shaking, they gotta be accomplished. So, without further ado, I got Smitty Beats here. What's up, bro? How are you?
What's up, man?
You good?
My brother, good.
I appreciate you pulling up, bro.
Man, I appreciate everything.
You've been, you got credits, man. You've been working for a minute. You come under the, would you say the epidemic school of hard knocks, like the.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You come up on, for people who don't know, Epidemic. That's the label that Cool and Dre run, and they have their whole team. And Smitty, I would say, is one of the go-to players on that team. Is that fair to say?
Besides Cool and Dre,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I appreciate that look. If that's the word on the street.
I got my ear to the street, bro.
Yeah, so if that's what it is, then yeah.
Oh, how did that? So you're a producer and an engineer, correct?
Producer and engineer, yeah.
Cool. So I could run through some of your credits, but I'd rather have you do it. So if you want to, let us know kind of some of the biggest records you were involved in, so the people know.
I mean, where do I start? We can go with All the Way Up. To start with
All the Way Up
with Fat Joe, French Montana, Remy Ma. The remix had Jay-Z on it. And then with Jay-Z and Beyonce, Black Effect, co-produced that with Cool and Dre and 808 Ray.
Damn, you got that Hove credit, Smitty.
I got it early
in the
too.
talk. That's crazy. So let's say the top three. So those are two, and what was the third one?
I mean, you could take your pick. I mean, I got Remy Ma and Little Kim. Wake Me Up.
Damn, that's history right there.
First, I think that's the first and only time those two have ever collabed.
Crazy. The Jay-Z Beyonce credit and the Remy Ma Lil Kim first time collaboration credit.
And that was Remy's first record right out prison.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So that was a big look. And shout out to Remy for that. Me and her have always been close because of that. And it's been love ever since. So shout out to Rem.
That's dope, bro. So we were talking off air, off the camera, and you were tall, and I told you usually I'm the tallest one in the room, but I think you got you got me beat. Usually everyone is short in here, and I said the tall people, we got to stick together, bro, because
facts.
The short people hate us. Like
Napoleon complex is real.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like it's tough because some of these short dudes be bosses and they be CEOs, and you got to get through them, but they just not. It's tough.
They're immediately intimidated.
Off rip, even in a business sense, though. You know what I'm saying? Real. Like it's crazy. So everybody 6 foot up. We got to band together, man, and stick together. But so you said your high school was basically basketball and music. Yeah. Are you from here?
No, I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland Heights, Ohio. Yeah.
and what? Okay, let's go over. You started producing in high school?
No, I started producing probably 7-8 years ago. When I was down and out, and I was looking for a way to secure my family's legacy. That's what I call it. Because I ran into a brick wall out here in Miami, as far as what I was trying to do, what I was initially trying to do.
What was that?
I was just working in retail.
Got you.
And I was just trying to be like a manager. You feel me?
Yeah.
And the managers out here, they make like 80 grand, 100 grand.
Yeah, trying to make the Miami life work for you from Ohio.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And so I ran into that block of that racial. We're not gonna let no black guy be the manager at the store.
Where was this at?
I can't. I ain't gonna.
Was it Broward, Miami? When you say the area,
it was definitely Miami.
Got you.
South Beach area, whatever. So it was that going on, and I was kind of stuck in a rut, and I fell back on my second love, which was music. I've always been into music. My first ever piece of music owned was More Money, More Problems. I don't know why my mom allowed me to have the dirty copy.
That's crazy, because my first album my mom ever bought me was, my first rap album I ever had was No Way Out.
Wow.
But I don't think More Money with More Problems was on that album.
Nah, I can't.
Benjamin's was on that album, but
Yeah.
More Money, More Problems wasn't.
Yeah. I can't remember, but I had the single cassette tape.
Wow. The cassette. That's
I
crazy.
had the single cassette tape. So music has always been a part of my life ever since I was a kid. You know, I grew up playing instruments, alto sax.
Oh, so you had a musical background already.
Yeah.
But you never touched like a
I never
computer.
did the programming of it.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? But I played in band and orchestra. I was out there in marching band and marching along, and it was just real simple, real easy.
So you're in Miami. You said the retail shit is not working for you. You got to pivot. And what makes you? What do you buy a laptop? You get FL Studio, or what happens? What's the next move?
I was like, man. I was telling my homeboy, I was like, man, I'm actually try to be a DJ, like, because I was already in the clubs and shit. So I'm like,
What clubs were you fucking with back then at that time?
Dream.
Okay. What year was this? Is this like LeBron era?
This is
Like
LeBron.
2010?
This is LeBron. This is like, this is Miami LeBron. It wasn't Playhouse, but it was that first club soon as you get off on 5th. Like right there, it's like the bridge.
Play.
Yeah.
Ivy.
Play Ivy.
Yeah, they changed the name.
It changed it, but when I was living on the beach, it was like Cub Play. And I think there was another one, but I forget, man. I ain't been out to the clubs in so long. But and I think Studio 23 was still rocking. But yeah, around that time.
And then so what happens? Do you go for FL Studio? You get a laptop and you start.
At first, I went for FL Studio. No, at first I didn't go for FL Studio. At first, I went for Logic. So I had Logic. I bought Logic, which is $200 for those who want to get started.
So are you Team Logic to this day? Because we're gonna get real geeky with our talk, by the way. This isn't gonna be okay.
Fine. That's fine. I'm a geek. I'm a nerd. So I'm not Team Logic. If anything, I'm Team FL.
Yeah.
Yeah, FL is just more user friendly.
It's crazy. When I first started making, like, I would watch my boy play the MPC, his older brother. I was like, damn, I want to do that. But I couldn't afford an MPC. There was this program, Fruity Loops, at the time. This was like 2008. I downloaded that shit. I'm clicking the drum pad. He's like, yo, what the fuck you doing? He's playing the MPC. I'm like, yo, I don't know if this shit is, but this is the only way I can make beats right now for free on a laptop. Then I graduated high school, went to SAE, and I got into the Logic heavy.
Right.
Then I'm like, damn, I think it's time to go back to FL.
Right.
Because, you know, dudes was coming in with their PCs and like shit was just knocking different with the FL, you know? Right. So I went back to the FL. So yeah, now I'm Team FL. But okay, continue. You went to Logic.
I'm definitely Team FL. Logic, it's just, you know, you smoking and you catching a vibe, it's just tough to just continue to catch a vibe, especially when you're on a smoking budget.
Gotcha.
So you trying to get the maximum out that blunt. So so FL allows you to get the maximum out of your smoking
So it's
budget.
not even just the sonics of the difference between FL and Logic, but it's like you like the actual program, the way it's set up better.
I like the actual program, the way it's set up. And the sonics are just, everything just knocks harder.
Why do you think that is?
Whatever they did in their programming.
Just something in the software, whatever, right?
Whatever's in their coding.
And you think there's a difference between PC and Mac on the FL?
I mean, they got it on. They got FL on Mac now.
Yeah.
So it still knocks. So I think it's just something in whatever.
FL.
Yeah, something in how they was built.
Because I was always with my Mac, and then these dudes would pull up in their fucking rusty ass PC and open that shit. Like it looks like a block, like an Xbox, and that shit was go boom, like the 8. I'm like, damn, bro, I cannot get my 808s to sound like this. And I got like the new Mac, you know, my computer's like 3 times as expensive. I got Logic from SAE. I'm thinking I'm the shit.
Yeah. So they gave y'all like that material SAE? I never went to like the music school. I never.
Yeah, I did it, but I dropped out.
Okay.
Yeah, but they gave you
I'm a college dropout too.
Yeah. Well, damn. I mean, I paid bread, but I dropped out because of Power 96 for the radio. But yeah, when you pay all that bread, bro, they give you the laptop. It comes with the laptop. It comes with Logic. It comes with plugins. It comes with all that shit.
Okay.
Yeah. So you buy FL. I mean, you buy Logic first.
Buy Logic. I crack FL.
Crazy. Nice.
Cracked it, stole it.
Christ. Nice. That's not. Hey,
Ripped it from him.
I'm not gonna lie. I got a couple things cracked, but you know, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm legit out here in these streets.
For everybody watching and listen, this is the first when I first did it. This is the beginning rookie stages of making beats. I stole it.
Crazy.
But now I have a bought.
Yeah.
I'm registered. I'm licensed.
Yeah, you're rich now, so you're good.
Every
you got the
free
Jay-Z. Yo, producing Jay-Z credits with a cracked Logic or a cracked FL is crazy. No. I bet you there's some dudes with credits that got cracked programs on.
Oh man, a lot of what I've done came off the crack program.
Damn.
You know, and then once you get paid, you start investing in your craft.
Yeah, I can give you guys $200 a month now or whatever it is.
Yeah, now there's 200 and then there's the free update.
But that's crazy. They're trying to get us with subscriptions now. You see that shit? You got to pay like, what is it, 20 a month for Pro Tools now? Like, why can't I just buy this shit? They want that subscription buy out of the bag. That's okay. So you got Logic, and then you get the Crack FL.
Crack FL.
And do you since you played instruments your whole life, do you pick up producing fairly quickly, or?
Hell no. It was a struggle. It was I had to call my music teacher from middle school.
Oh shit! He probably doesn't know what the fuck Fruity Loops is and Logic and all that shit.
But I didn't even call him for that. I called him for tempo counts.
Oh, okay.
Counting tempo, bars, and this and that. Just getting back
to the theory of it.
Getting back into music theory. I knew once I would get comfortable in getting back into that music theory pattern, that just placing drums and listening to music that's going on today, that's just
second nature now.
Yeah, second nature. You know what I'm saying? So and I got to do that before he passed away, so shout out to Mr. Altonen for helping me get back into that groove, because it's just like anything. You might lose it a little bit. It's just like playing sports,
right?
But
it's like a muscle.
It's muscle memory. So I got back into the swing of things, and everything started, taking off ever since.
That's what's up. So when you started producing, like, what were your influences growing up? Did you have like production influences growing up?
Cool and Dre.
Okay. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 32.
Oh, yeah, we're the same exact age.
Yeah, November 4th.
November 4th, 1988?
1988.
October 20. You're 5 years. I'm 5 years older than you. I mean,
okay.
5 days older than you.
Okay.
Crazy. Scorpio gang, we here. But okay, yeah. So damn. So did you have the Cool and Dre, Rick Ross, DJ Khaled Scratch magazine?
I did not as a kid.
I was reading that in high school, bro.
But what I do remember is Chevy Riding High being Jam of the Week on BET, MTV Jams. And
that was the first time I ever heard Ross.
And $100 million being Jam of the Week. When $100 million came out, that was my shit. Damn. Still is to this day.
What year was that? That was early. That was like
early 2000s.
Were you in Miami at that time?
No, I was still in Cleveland. $100 million, $100 million, $100 million.
Nah, the Chevy Riding High, bro.
That shit was hard. So
crazy.
To be in the position to where I'm standing next to these people, working with them.
Surreal, probably.
It's surreal. But because I never had the expectations of like, well, when I enter this music business, this is what I'm going to be, and this is who I'm going to be, and this is who I'm going to be. Like, I'm like still humble enough to like learn from them.
Be a student.
Yeah, still be a student. Still like learn from, maybe, they might tell me some mistakes that they made back when they were working on this record or doing it with this artist, and they'll tell me not to do that, and I'll listen, you know what I'm saying, and understand that, because eventually I'm going to have it to where I'm working with certain artists soloing and without their blessing,
right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
and then you eventually pass the game down to someone younger, you know what I mean?
Pass the game down to somebody who's, and I think Cool and Dre and Joe, they're really close in that sense of who they actually give the game to. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know if I was chosen, but why they gave me why they give me the game and why they continue to give me the game. Sometimes I don't know why, but I take it in stride, and I just move appropriately. You know
That's what's up.
I don't try to fold.
As you should, bro. That's what's up. And so your influences growing up, Cool and Dre. Who else? Do you have any other?
Cool and Dre, Just Blaze,
That's mine
Jay-Z,
Yeah.
Currency. It's kind of crazy. A lot of my influences are people that I ended up working with.
Wow.
So
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I had a surreal moment for me. It was like when I started like producing in high school, the gods to me, who my style, like my true style sounds like, and that style is not really popular like that anymore, but were the heat makers.
Yeah.
Like Dipset like ran my whole high school.
Yeah.
So that type of music, I would be in Adobe chopping up samples and putting them in FL at the time in high school, like trying to, but bro, so last year, it's crazy how life does this. 2019, my boy Shula invites me to a Jim Jones session at Circle House with Arsonist there.
I know Shula.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and Arsonist is there, right?
Yeah.
So I'm there like in a Jim Jones Arson Heatmaker session, and I'm just like a fly on the wall. I don't even want to speak, you know what I'm saying? I'm just there like on a fly on the wall chilling, and I'm like, bro, I was like, these were like gods to me in high school. And it's crazy that like you said, you worked with the people you looked up to, you worked with eventually.
Right. Even and to piggyback off that, when we did a record, I recorded a record with Dipset, and it was Dipset and the Locks. On that,
crazy.
When Dipset first came back out. So in the studio we had Jim Jones, Freaky Zeke, and Cameron. Only person missing was Joel's.
Right.
And I was like, I turned around one time, I was like, yo, you fucking kidding me? Like, I'm like, yo, like,
And Freaky Zeke was
outta
probably
here.
like wild and cracking jokes and shit,
No,
like
for
the
real.
shit
I'm
you
just
grew
like,
up on, you know, like on the
yeah.
mixtape. Like, yo, my life is a mixtape right now.
Yeah, I'm just like, yo, I cannot believe this. I'm fucking pinching myself, man.
And
I'm
what's
in
crazy?
the studio with fucking Dipset, like,
And you gotta like play it cool too, you know?
Yeah,
like
of
you
course, you
can't,
gotta
you
play
put
it cool.
inside, you're like, yo, this shit's crazy.
playing it cool, like, moving fast, and
Yeah.
not looking around, and is that good? Is that good? Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying?
Dog,
But
that's what's up, bro.
Sometimes I am like, I cannot believe this shit.
Do you
Like,
remember the first moment when you had that moment? Like that first, oh my God, like
fucking when I was with Fat Joe?
that was
Like,
the first one.
Yeah, like,
Okay, so I went too far ahead. So you're making beats on Logic and FL, and how does the Cool and Dre relationship start?
intern. I went there on an internship. So I was trying to find my footing in this music industry. So I did a couple interviews at a couple other studios, and then Cool and Dre were the only studio to respond back with an actual like interview, setup time, this and that.
Is this to just be an engineer?
This was to be a producer. I sent them like beats.
Oh.
Some shitty ass beats.
Yeah.
Like,
damn.
but fuck it.
Yeah.
Like, I was
They
just
could have been shitty if they hit you back, you know?
You know what I'm saying? But I sent them some music, and their A&R hit me back at the time. And I went there, I'm coming off the 9 to 5, so I came there in like a suit and tie.
Damn, like you was getting interviewed for fucking
for real.
Wall Street.
Yeah, right. So I came there like in a suit and tie, and the first thing I noticed was they were already in the session. So my first day was like the Pilot Talk 3 session. So Currency was already there, and then like Dre from Cool and Dre walked out, and I was like, wait a minute. Like, at first I didn't even know. Let me backtrack. At first I didn't even know it was Cool and Dre's studio. It was this record room studio. I didn't know that they owned, you know what I'm saying? So I just went in and like,
It was the same spot it's now?
yeah, it's still same spot. So I didn't even know. But once Dre walked out and Currency walked out, I was like, oh shit, like this is gonna be like the big leagues.
Damn.
So I was prepared ever since then. You know what I'm saying?
And what happens? Do you what's your first interaction with them? Do you play them beats? Do they have something they want to say to you already, or how does that go?
The first thing Dre says to me is, get him some water or something like that. And then I think the first thing Cool says to me is like, go on the back and like, I don't even want to see your face. Like, I got it bad. Like, I got treated like an intern. Like an old school intern.
Oh shit. Hard Knocks.
What?
Crazy.
I got treated crazy. But it was
damn.
it was
So
a test.
They give you like the tap water from the sink and shit, like the intern water and shit.
I couldn't have a laptop. I couldn't like display that I was doing anything besides cleaning. For like
was it like the Circle House interns? I know y'all Circle House interns got to make lemonade. You guys make 7 gallons of lemonade every hour. Like a lemonade factory.
I had to do that. I had to do that, but I had to clean floors, clean bathrooms. Listen, coming from, you're a grown man. I was probably 24, 25 at the time, so I'm grown. Yeah, you feel me? Cleaning up after grown ass men is not the
and
vibe.
how tall you? Like you said, you're 6'4".
Yeah,
you can't be cleaning when you're 6'4". That's crazy.
So it's just like, when is this means to an end gonna stop? But it taught me a great deal of patience, and it taught me a great deal of humility, because and it teaches you the etiquette of being actually in a studio session and actually being participating in your craft, cleaning and taking care of those things. It's not for some it's gonna break you, and others it builds you. You feel me? And for that it built me. It didn't break me. Yeah,
it teaches you patience. It teaches you not to know your place in line. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
just know your respect. It's still, even though you might be removed from your parents' house, there's still a respect in line in this world that you have to pay homage to. You have to pay homage to the people before you.
Do you think these new kids kind of lose sight of that?
Most definitely. I think this generation loses sight of this. This new generation is more of a
entitled.
Yeah, they definitely feel like they're entitled to a lot of stuff that they shouldn't be entitled to. But it is what it is. Some of them fall flat on their face, and others recognize it and pay homage to
the process.
To the process. I paid homage to the process. I respected the process. I never disrespected the process.
That's what's up. So you're just there in the studio cleaning up, and you're just kind of like the studio helper. Are you making beats when you get off, or are you sleeping there, or what do your hours look like? Are you like trying to learn the SSL? Like what?
I ain't got no whip, so I'm catching the bus back to South Beach, so it's like 2 buses. So on the bus, I'm literally whipping out my laptop and learning FL right there on the bus at like 3-4 o'clock in the morning.
Were you anxious to show them something, or were you just like, yo, you know what? I'm not even eager. I'm just gonna play my position. And
once I learned, I played sports growing up, so I know a coach. You know what I'm saying? I know how to, okay, so you're like this. Okay, so you're like that. Okay, cool.
So you try to like learn everybody and how they move and what their personality is.
And then once I understand the process, okay, so there is no rush. And then I looked upon it as myself as, I'm not sitting up here trying to be famous.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I've ran into a lot of people after me that the first thing they're trying to do is, they want to be there for a week and get a placement with Fat Joe, and then, where the money at?
And the clout, right? And
it's clout, the money, and then.
And that's how you know they're not truly into it, right?
Yeah, you got to be truly into the craft, and so when they're not truly into that craft, you can kind of weed those people out. Me myself, I was not really trying to let me hurry up and get a get rich quick scheme. You know what I'm saying? So I was down to be patient. I was down to just learn what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying?
Got you. So are you in sessions at this time, like soaking up game, kind of just like?
I'm in sessions, cleaning and delivering water like Farnsworth Bentley. Oof. So I'm ear hustling at its finest sometimes. Like if it's a sample or it's a cool, maybe doing something on a Pro Tools session, I'm literally just, trying my hardest to, make sure the studio's clean and stay out of people's way. But also, if I can see something that might help me on my, hour and a half bus ride back to my house, then by all means, I looked at myself, at least I deserve that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm cleaning the bathroom, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. If I can catch a hi-hat, give me that. You know what I'm saying? I can catch a hi-hat trick.
Yeah.
Like, geez, let me take
that's
that.
That's how you EQ the hi-hats.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
Days worth of knowledge right there. Were you there? Okay, so were you there on like some vampire shit, like Vampire Hours, or was it like a normal?
Yeah, I was there on Vampire Hours. It got to the point where I did such a good job at cleaning and taking care of the studio that that job gets noticed. And that's the good thing about Cool and Dre. Like, they notice everything. So they notice when you're bullshitting, and they notice when you're doing a good job. You know what I'm saying? And it was getting noticed to the point where it was almost like, if I'm not there, then something's wrong. Ooh. You know what I'm saying?
Like your absence was felt.
Yeah. Yeah. So it got to that trust level, and I just started becoming routine there, just being there daily, and then it started to open up to where it's more like, while you're dropping off the waters, stay, I might need something else. You know what I'm saying? So then it became staying 15 minutes in the session, then it'd be, oh, go get me this. You know what I'm saying? Then it's like, now I gotta leave for the rest of the day. So I got 15 minutes just to chill, you know what I'm saying? So, it just picked up gradually.
And does it go into like engineering now, or does it go into, now I'm gonna play them some beats, or does it go to?
It went into, for me, it was an execution. I had to look at it as an execution. At that time, we had like 10 producers. And then we had like 4 interns trying to be producers.
Wow.
And so I looked at it like, well, fuck that. I need to get into the room, because the name of the game is getting into the room. Show them, they probably hear thousands of beats a day, but if you're in the room and they're comfortable with you and you are able to gain their trust with just being in the room, then, maybe recording them helps. Gaining even more trust, because, oh, he's nice with my vocals. He cares about my vocals. And then, I thought about it like, then I'll play them beats.
Exactly.
My name is Smitty Beats.
Right.
So if I'm there as an engineer, they're going to say, your name is Smitty Beats, but you're recording? Right. Man, let me hear some beats.
Eventually that's going to happen. It might take a minute, but like,
eventually, but,
Do you remember the time when it was maybe a celebrity or someone like, hey, you got some beats? And you're like, do I? Like,
Currency.
Oh, shit.
Currency, Spitta. Shout out to Spitta, Jet Life Music. All those guys down there, Currency, Fendi P, all those guys, Musa, all those guys. That was the situation. I was recording him, and I think it was like Cool said something, came into the room, and or he saw my email. I emailed him, and he said, Smitty Beats. He said, man, play me some music, bro. So I played him some music, hopped on one track, and it was like Defenseless.
I was gonna say, how confident were you in that pack that you showed him when you were like, these are ready to go, I'm ready, I'm nice?
Confident.
Okay.
I don't think it was a thing of like I'm nice or this or that. I had some beats that I felt
were ready,
that sounded good.
And how many years into the, like, from you start, just sweeping the studio and shit, right when you get there, how many years before this Currency moment happens?
2 years, 3 years.
So for everybody listening, this is a process. This was 2-3 years before he even like.
And I know there's a lot of people on there saying, "Shit, nigga, not me." Well, you know what I'm saying.
What comes fast goes fast too.
Yeah,
so.
And it's called God Bless You on Your Way Out too. So I've seen it. I've seen it happen to people that might have been better than me. You feel me? But their patience is not a gift, and patience is a gift. You know what I'm saying? And I still don't know why people were in such of a rush. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, shout out to them though. You know, they paved the way for me.
So what year did you start working in the studio?
Like 7 years ago. So what's 7 years ago?
Like 2013, 14?
Yeah.
Around there. And 3 years. So then that first placement was what, like 2016?
Probably like 2 years. So like 2015, 2016. And everything kind of just, that was my first placement as a producer, which was my ultimate goal. My ultimate goal is to be a great producer. Engineering is cool. That's a nice bag. Right. But, you know, I enjoy both parts.
Is engineering a nice bag?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, I've been blessed to you know, work with some amazing artists to exceed that nice bag.
Right. I guess it depends right on the session and budgets and shit, and if there's a label budget and you know what I mean? Like, because a lot of people think engineer is just like I don't want to say bitch work, but like there's no money in it. You're just, everyone's fucked up in the session and you're just controlling everything and just kind of.
The thing about music is people got to get out of that mindset of just that money mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is, you know, we're creatives. We yes, the money's good. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? I'm blessed. But, you know, if you love something, you love it whether you're doing it for money or not. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that's where they fall out of that. That's where their craft is not as good, because they care about that money so much. Right. Oh, it's not making me enough money, this and that. Who's not doing this and that? You decided to be the engineer. Right. You know what I'm saying? You can, you know, that's on you if you charge how much you charge for that mix, bro. You gotta get your credits up. You gotta.
I feel like, would you say at least 50% of engineers are trying to be producers and get placements? Or would you see most?
I think everybody's trying to be a producer
and get a writer or some shit and get play. Is there ever? Because you could play the engineer role, you can play the producer role. So let me ask you a question: has there ever been a time when maybe like those roles got blurred in a session, or like when you're the engineer, do you say any ideas like, oh, I think we should do this, or do you just stay in engineer mode, let me know my place and not speak, or you know what I mean?
There's been a couple instances where I've kind of had to learn my place, just because not knowing it. You know what I'm saying? It's just rookie mistakes. You know what I'm saying? You turn the ball over, it's whatever. So in certain sessions, when I know they're actually hiring me to work with them, then they want me. You know what I'm saying? But I know in certain other sessions, I know that I'm just an engineer, so I'm just tracking vocals. Right. My job is just to track vocals, keep it moving. Right. You know what I'm saying? Making sure everything sounds good. So I can kind of fill out the room, depending on who it is and who it's with, and kind of know like, all right, I'm just going to track vocals, make sure I do a good job, make sure none's distorted, and we clear it. And the other ones, it's like, oh, you want me to produce this for you? Okay, let me do the vocals, do this, do that, blah, 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 blah.
And you mix records too?
Yeah, mix records, yeah.
That's what's up, bro. So you have the Jay-Z, when does the Jay-Z moment come? Or what's the next big moment after the Currency? Like,
so it's Currency, I don't know exact timeline, but then Remy Ma happened. So that was my first major label placement as a producer. Was Remy Ma and Little Kim, Wake Me Up.
Now at this time, are you just, you know, making beats, or is this more collaboration with like Cool and Dre, and now they just trust you more on the input musically? Or
it's still making beats and it's still collaborating. It's always been a collaborative effort. Okay. But it's, you know, Fat Joe, shout out to Fat Joe. He actually gave me the sample idea to flip that record. So he came in one day and said, "Need to flip this for Remy," and you know,
that's dope.
The rest is history. So it's a collaborative effort.
Can you speak? Because, man, I always say I think Fat Joe is, if we're saying the top ears in hip hop, I would say Fat Joe
best ears ever.
Is probably top 3. You know what I mean? Like,
Joe has an
he's
amazing
almost
ear.
like he's almost like an A&R producer within an artist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like to for an artist to be like, yo, flip this sample. You know what I'm saying? Like, who else does that? That's not.
Yeah. No, Joe's amazing. He has an amazing ear. It's incredible. How he'll just come into the studio and be like, this is it. This is it. Flip this. We need to do this. This is it. This is it. And he'll have it all mapped out. You know, he's a genius.
That's dope, man. Is there who's another musical, you know, someone that you really look up to, like just their musicality and like their knowledge of?
I'm being biased, but Cool and Dre, they're geniuses.
Yeah.
I look up to, you know, how they're able to produce a record, to really get the best out of an artist, get the best out of a production. They're geniuses in their own right.
So it goes past just making the beat.
Yeah, for them it goes way past making the beat. You know, I've seen the process. You know, I've seen it sometimes where we might not have a bass player and the record's due, you know, in a few hours, and Cool will sit up there and be like, "Yo, plug up an amp. I'm gonna play a couple notes on the bass. Play a couple notes on the bass.
Wow, just figure it out.
Just figure it out real quick. Play a couple notes on that bass, and we be out and mix it. He'll mix it in the mix, send it off to the label. I was like, man, this is
that's crazy.
I've seen a lot, you know. So, and that's what they've taught me, that producing goes way beyond just the beat. And a lot of times I try to imitate that. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think that's because a lot of people don't know the difference between a producer and a beat maker, right?
I think they're one and the same.
Okay. Right, but producer, I feel like does more. Like
Yeah.
he does what the beat maker does, but also he has the ability to do more. Do you
Yeah.
think that's getting lost in, man? Because I always say, like, I don't like a lot of producers can just make beats all day.
Right.
I don't really like making beats. I like making songs. I like making a beat, thinking of a melody, finding a writer, then getting the artist and doing a song, then moving on to the next idea. You know what I'm saying? Like producing the record.
Right.
But I feel like that art is kind of dying in a sense, where it's just like, make the beat, let's listen to a pack, record me, I'm just gonna record, and there's no like producer like guiding and directing. Do you feel like that? Like that?
Yeah, but I mean, because I think it can lose its art in a sense too, because a lot of artists are writing their own lyrics now too. You know what I'm saying?
They're like producing their own records in a sense.
They're producing their own vocals. That, you know,
Exactly.
You can't really tell, you know, Young Thug, oh yeah, on those notes go a little bit higher, because I was thinking of that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Somebody has to, unless there's a writer involved, you know,
Right.
that is their own inspiration. You feel me? So it can lose its art in that sense. And I just think that the people think when you make a beat, you're just producing, you produce the record, even though you're producing 50% of the record, because without that beat, it's just vocals and nothing. But, you know, there still has to be, you know, the artist still picks out that beat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The artist still has to, you know, if there's nothing written on that beat, if there's no songwriter, if there's no reference on that beat, the artist still has to come up with something. You know, and if you're just sitting there waiting, you know, then and you're waiting for the engineer to record, and then once vocals are cut and you leave the room, I don't know if I can give you credit for producing the record, but, you know, I do appreciate someone taking the time to, you know, maybe add filter there. Maybe, you know, I'm going to go back in and redo the drums and this and that, this and that. But yeah, that is becoming a lost art. And I think it's just because the music is becoming lazy too.
The analogy I use is fast food.
Yeah.
Like everyone just wants the next, like people who say they make 5 songs in a night, that's wild to me. Like
Talking about like artists?
Yeah. I mean, you've probably seen it, like,
yeah.
But to me, it just speaks to the climate of like fast food.
Yeah.
Like, right? Because in my mind, when I was looking up to Just Blaze, they weren't like 5 songs in a night. I don't know, but it just seems like
if the inspiration is there, I can get it. You know what I'm saying? I've worked with some artists who come with that energy already there. They're waiting to get out whatever they need to get out.
Are they writing though, or does it just kind of feel like they're just freestyling melodies and just putting shit together on the fly? Does it feel like fast food, or does it feel like they're taking their time to?
Well, when they come there, they're already ready to go. They just need to hear the beat.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not that. I think in how it comes out as fast food, how it's marketed out as fast food. I don't think how the time it takes to create is fast food, because if it was fast food, then they would record and then drop it that night. You know what I'm saying? But it's we're mixing. Oh, let me go back in. I want to go back into my own studio. You know, a lot of times they're doing it to get it out here, get that inspiration out, listening back, and, you know, wherever they're from, you know, they could be from New York, LA, whatever. They go into their home studio
and tighten it up.
Tighten it up.
Got
you. Know
what
I'm saying? So I think the marketing is fast food. I don't think the preparation, the artist, fast food.
Got you. Did you being that you know you're my age, did you, in the music climate obviously like shifted and it went further away from like Just Blaze type things and you know and it got super, you know, I would say I guess trappy, and it got more like super south. Did it fuck with you, like trying to like be inspired by that type of music, or did you like that type of music, or was
I love that type of shit.
Got you.
I love the trap shit.
Got you.
I'm inspired by all of that. Metro Boomin, Southside, 808 Mafia. I'm inspired by all that. Lex Luger.
Dope.
That shit's hard.
Dope.
That shit's hard. It has an expression to it.
Right.
Not like the old school hip hop did too, but this is more aggressive, I feel like.
And you know what's dope? I feel like even through that climate of just the trappy, that type of music, you still had, and we could point directly to Cool and Dre, like they were still flipping samples and still doing soulful stuff.
And then when you do that, you
like
there was hard, man.
I felt like the balance was off, right? And it felt like everyone was doing this type of music, and you had people like Cool and Dre still flipping samples and trying to contribute to keeping the balance on point. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you know, is that one of your things? Do you like flipping samples? Like,
I love flipping samples. That's what I'm good at. It's probably the best thing. Flipping samples, finding dope loops, putting, you know,
dope.
Just simple shit.
How do you feel about the production game now where, you know, I'm not going to say any names, but I've heard producers just say, big time producers, right? They'll be on their way to the studio and they'll say, yo, producers out there, send me loops. And then dudes will just send them loops to their email. And I'm assuming these guys just put drums over the loop, put some 808s, hi-hat, and a snare over the loop, arrange it a little bit. And now it's their beat. And I don't know if they're breaking the loop man off, like, you know, like the loop plug.
That's between them and the loop man.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta, I always respect the business aspect, because, you know, that shit could always fall back on you. Never want to hear no stories about you cheating people, cheating the art. Never want to cheat the art. You feel me?
It's easier though, right? Because now you could just put loops together. Like you don't have to play anything anymore, really, because there's royalty-free loops.
There's royalty-free loops. But you know, most of the producers that do the loop packs, they're actually playing. They're actually playing
to create the loop, right?
Yeah. So that's a form of producing too.
Okay.
I think is happening today that maybe didn't happen back then, is that there's more producers willing to collab. You know what I'm saying?
And it's so easy to send a session around and shit now. So
it's so easy to spread it around. It's more. I think there's just more opportunity for producers to collab than it is.
Got you.
Back then, I think earlier 90s, earlier 2000s, more producers was more of a competitive thing. You know what I'm saying? And I think hip hop in general was just more competitive.
That's a dope way to look at it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, even from the artists.
You didn't have like Just Blaze producing for Snoop Dogg. You feel me?
Right.
You know, not that I know of.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was just, you know, I just don't remember stuff like that. Now you have like Lil Baby and DaBaby on the song.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or Lil Baby and or DaBaby and Rowdy Rich on the song.
Am I fucked up for not liking that there's no competition anymore? The kumbaya has a positive element to it, right? Like it's cool sometimes, but then
the beef got to be real.
No, I'm not even saying beef.
Oh.
I'm just saying like when artists used to step in the booth and say you're a rapper and I'm a rapper and it's 2005 and me and you're going in the booth. I'm trying to have the better verse than you. Like I'm trying to compete with you. It's almost the song was like a competition in a sense.
I think it's competition. I think it's still competition. I think it's just, you know, it's a new generation. Everybody's passive aggressive, so they're not gonna. They definitely try to finish people off on verses, but I don't think they directly say it when they're trading back files. You know what I'm saying? But they definitely count. No, I had a better verse than Buddy.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Or do we get a verse and he's like, all right, I'm changing my shit now.
Yeah, of course. That stuff still goes on.
What's in a Smitty session? What's like the groupie policy in the session? Is there like a groupie policy? Is there like an NDA that the groupies got to sign before the session? How does that work in a Smitty session?
It's definitely a NDA, and you have to take your shoes off.
Ooh, you're a feet guy? Are you telling us you're a feet guy, Smitty? You suck toes? Be real.
No, I'm definitely not a feet guy. I do like a woman with nice feet, but the rules of the session, man, just catch a vibe, man.
Yeah,
ain't nothing crazy, man.
You have any crazy studio stories? Like you don't have to say any names, you know, but anyone wilding out, anyone.
Too many stories, man. If I even I'm sworn to secrecy, man.
Ooh. Too
many stories, bro. Too many crazy stories. But nothing too crazy as far as nothing beyond the music.
Got you.
It's just the maybe the creative part is goes haywire. Files get lost. Yeah. Vocals get deleted. Those are only really the craziest stories.
Damn. How did the Jay-Z song go about? Were you there in person or?
Cool Dre flew out to London at the time. I think they were doing the On the Run tour. They had just started it, but they flew out to London. And me and a collaborator of mine, 808 Ray, shout out to Ray. We were just cooking up beats for him. Cool Dre was cooking up beats for him. We was cooking up beats for him, and it was best one flies.
So it was how many songs did he pick? How many beats did he pick out of that pack or whatever?
I don't know if it was a pack that we sent them. We were just it was just selective records, like selective, like
so just your beat, beat. He ended up hearing and liked it.
Yeah. It was actually Dre who ended up hearing the sample for Black Effect, and he immediately was like, "That's it. Put some drum. Like that's it. That's the one we're going with right now." Like, wow. You know what I'm saying? And the rest is history. Like I really can't. The session was special. Making.
But you weren't there. It was them. Yeah. Cool Dre were with Hov.
Yeah,
but you were.
Yeah. We was back here. Passports was messed up, so we were back here. We were back in the U.S. chilling.
Dog, how hype were you though? Like knowing that like they're in London playing your shit for Hov, like.
Nah, it was crazy. So they came back. So Cool and Dre came back to the States, and they had walked in the room. They at first they kind of seemed kind of like down and kind of chill, and it was cool. It was like, hey guys, just want to let you guys know. So we've been out in London working with Jay-Z and Beyonce, and we're like, okay, cool. And
everybody's pretending like it ain't shit.
And then Cool says, so they're gonna come out with the album like in 2 days. Like, oh, okay, cool. And he's like, yeah, we got like 3 or 4 on there. I'm like, oh shit. Out of 8, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like we all start going crazy.
Wait, was Cool like just playing it cool?
Cool was playing it cool.
Or was he really like?
He was playing it super cool.
Okay, gotcha.
Cool was playing it cool. Cool was playing it super cool, but then he just kept like slow roasting us, and then we were all just super excited. We couldn't say anything. We had to keep hush mouth because it's a secret album drop.
Shit, at least you only had to wait 2 days.
Yeah.
Imagine 3 months, you got a Jay-Z song coming out and you can't say shit. I'll lose my mind.
Right. So we had to wait those 2 days, and they flew back out. Like it seems like they came into the States just to tell us we're gonna be on the album, and then they flew back out.
Wow.
And you know, the rest was history. They flew back out to celebrate with them. And
that's what's
that
up.
was it.
That's what's up. Any other memorable sessions you could?
I mean, there's tons, man. I worked with Queen Latifah.
Damn, fire.
You know, and that was like surreal. Watching like working with Queen Latifah, and then we had Juice on. So watching her, and so her seeing her younger self in Juice.
What? Do you ever, like, when you have an artist, right, say, I mean, maybe you were an engineer or you were the actual producer in the session, you have an artist come, how do you guys prefer to set the vibe? Do you, like, just play some random music and just try to vibe? Do you go right to, like, just playing beats, or is there a way that you like to break the ice with the artist and kind of figure out what their vibe?
If it's with an artist I haven't worked before, yeah, you kind of set the vibe, you know, meet and greet, and, you know, play me your music, or I'll play you some music, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. But if it's with an artist I worked before, it's kind of just, hey, man, we kick off where we left back off.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, what you got going on? Play me some music. Okay. I'm playing you some stuff, you know. But I've gotten it to the point where the artists that I've worked with, they kind of used to a certain sound. So it's, you know.
How would you describe your sound?
Classic hip hop.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, you know, sample heavy.
Samples and
trap, but, you know, it's not.
It's not, I wouldn't say boom bap-ish, right? I mean,
no, it's not boom bap.
Yeah, it's not
boom bap.
But it's samples.
Yeah, samples. Unique samples.
Yeah.
You know, left field samples.
That's dope, bro. Well, so what's next for you? Like, what is your process look like today? Are you knocking out crazy beats? Kanye 5 beats a day for 3 summers? Or like, are you just?
I was on that like 2 years ago. But I'm just steadily just creating. Not 5 beats a day, like for 2 summers.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get at least 3 beats, 4 beats. I do a lot of recording with Joe, and Dre. And so I get in enough beats as I can. You know, the inspiration. You know, I'm an inspiration guy. I can't just be sitting there just pushing a button. You know what I'm saying? I got to be inspired by something. I got to be on something. You know what I'm saying? And then I let loose. But so I try to stay inspired a lot.
Can you tell me the last thing that inspired you? Something that you heard, or I was like, damn, now I gotta turn the stove on and start cooking. Like,
it was off this movie, Chef. It was a Jamaican
movie.
saying. Yeah. John Farrow, something like that.
Was it like a sample? You're like, oh shit, I need to sample this.
It was a Jamaican sample.
Bro,
and no one sampled it. So I looked on who sampled. No one's touched this guy, and I was like, oh, this is amazing.
Bro, speaking of that, does that happen to you? Like, just, you know, producer to producer, like, you be in the randomest places, like Publix, like buying bread, and you're like, holy shit, this song is hard as fuck. Or like you're in H&M buying like teas and shit, and it's like, yo, what is this song right here? You get the Shazam out, like.
Yep. It's a lot of times I'm like in a restaurant, I hear some dope shit, and I'm just like, oh,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So
that's dope.
You know, that's inspiration. You know, it's not just, you know, under an influence. It's what you hear, what you feel. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so that's how I get the inspiration.
Has this whole pandemic shit? How has it altered your process a little bit? Like,
it didn't really alter my process. It got me back in a place of where I could just create. So it was very beneficial. Because it just, you know, the pandemic had you just stuck. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so it was very good. It was very therapeutic for me. Very the pandemic. It
didn't affect you at all. Did you learn anything about yourself? Did you ask you like a deep like therapy question and shit?
I can do anything. That's what I learned during the pandemic. I could do anything.
That's a good answer, bro. So what's the focus for Smitty Beats moving forward? Like,
man, continue to win some more Grammys. Continue to just put out the best music possible.
What's the actual Grammy you have? So you can be clear for the people listening.
Jay-Z and Beyonce. Everything Is Love. That album. I've been nominated for a lot of Grammys. All the Way Up was nominated for a Grammy. A couple DJ Khaled albums I was an engineer on, nominated for Grammys. BJ Chicago Kid.
Wow. Do you have the actual Grammy? Did you do anything ignorant like Drake sipped out of or like pour some cereal in the Grammy or something?
Nah, there's I forget the certifications for that, but I think they only give like the actual Grammy Cup to like best rap album. This and like the awards that they display on TV.
Oh,
so those are the only people that kind of get them the actual official. Even though Everything in Love was supposed to be up for album of the year, they robbed us, but it's all good. We'll be back.
Damn, that's what's up. So you're just cooking up, just trying to catch a vibe and
cooking up, working with Dre. Dre has a solo project coming out.
Dope.
I'm very excited about that.
That last album was dope.
Family Ties.
Yeah.
Super dope. It took us 2 years to do. We did like 2 albums during that time. We worked on Dre's album, putting the finishing touches on Dre's album. Dre is an amazing producer, and he's a dope artist.
Singer.
Singer.
He started chorus and shit like these.
All of that. He's dope. Like he's just dope. Like he's dope. So,
tall gang too, yo. 6 foot plus gang. We here.
Like Drake's like 6'8".
Yeah.
So his project is gonna be really dope. We did something with Vado. I don't know when that's.
You said
dropping.
Vado or Movado?
Yeah, Vado.
Okay.
Don't
Some
know
New
when
York
that's
grimy
dropping.
shit. See, that's my shit, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, that's my shit.
Yeah. Shout out to Vado. We did something with him. And we're just gonna be everywhere, man. 2021, we're just gonna be everywhere. Other stuff I can't speak on. But
is there an artist that you want to work with that you haven't worked with yet? That you're like, damn, I want to get them in the studio.
I mean, there's a ton.
Yeah.
Jake, I mean,
maybe somebody that just speaks to you more, and not just like who's popping. Maybe someone who's just like that personally, like maybe is just that you just like their music that much.
I mean, that's not as popping. I mean, pretty much everybody I like is popping.
Got you.
So, I'm just trying to climb the ladder, man.
Got you.
Yeah, just pretty much just try to climb the ladder.
That's what's up. Are you a R&B guy?
Yeah,
I love R&B, man. Like I said this the other day. I feel like 2021 for me is gonna be very R&B-ish. Like it's, I don't know, man.
Nah, I'm an R&B guy. I'm a when you make hip hop music, you gotta kind of have something to peel back from that. You know what I'm saying? So,
do you think more like old head talk? But like, do you think this new generation understands that?
Yeah,
like understands the R&B side of it to like relax and just like.
I mean, they're more tapped into their feelings, so I guess so. They have to, yeah.
Because I'm just speaking from like a DJ perspective, right? You have the DJs and you have these new DJs, right? These new DJs are high energy, like trap, future, all the time. They don't know how to like give you that smooth bag. Like I'm like, where's the smoothness within your style? You know what I mean? Like where's do you have a smooth bone in your body? Like did you grow up with any R&B? Do you understand? And I don't see that from the DJs. So that's why I was wanted to ask you if you see that within like the producers and do you have any R&B singers or any in that lane that you like right now? Like who?
Like Bryson Tiller.
Yeah.
The usuals: Bryson Tiller, The Weeknd, Chris Brown. BJ Chicago Kid.
Dope.
BJ is more traditional R&B.
Got you.
I fuck with that a lot.
Got you. There's so much dope R&B.
Six Black. Those are like down tempo guys. Like more tapped into their feelings type shit.
Yeah. I'm waiting for some R&B that has like the more up-tempo vibe, like 90 BPM to like 105, like in that range. Get me bouncing a little more, like some 112. Give me. I'm looking for like some R&B with like a groove to it. You know what I mean? Not so sleepy.
Yeah.
But shit, I got Smitty Beats here. That's yo. So let's do this. Can you give me your top 3 albums of all time?
Oh,
top 5. We'll do top 5.
Oh man, top 5 albums. That I've worked on, or just
No, just of all time. You can go all the way back to high school if you have to.
no particular order. I'm just gonna give you 5 albums. Ready to Die. East 99 Internal. Man on the Moon. And for those who don't know the artist, it's Ready to Die, Biggie Smalls, Notorious B.I.G. East 99 Internal, Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Ohio shit.
Yeah, Ohio shit. Man on the Moon, Kid Cudi. The Chronic. And I really like this album, Get Rich or Die Trying.
I was like, damn, that's interesting that me and you're both like top 5. We don't have none of the same albums until you said Get Rich or Die Trying. I'm gonna go like, Diplomatic Immunity, and then I'm gonna go, probably Port of Miami, and then I'm gonna probably go, man, bro, Documentary might be in there.
That was classic.
So classic, right? That was definitely his best album. And that was like wasn't that like 21 song classic? Like, how do you have
17, something like that?
You got like 18
crazy
songs on your shit and not one is a skip. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the new style as far as like shorter songs? I feel like it like a lot of new shit is like hook verse hook and we out. Like a minute 40, like the Whoopty song, Being a DJ, a lot of these things, the Pop Smoke songs, like
I don't know who came up with that rule, but I guess it is what it is. I'm not really fazed by it. I'm not really, if the song is good, then, we could hear, if a Drake song is good, we can hear 5 verses.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know who came up with that rule, but I'm not really fazed by it.
I'm just guessing. I'm just like having a theory, but I think it has some, I would think that to get more streams, because you hear it and you're like, you want to hear it more because it's so short, so you stream it again. Like, that was the only thing I could think of.
That
like,
might be the play.
I feel like
that
everyone's
sounds like a good play.
Yeah, I feel like everyone's trying to figure out. You got Chris Brown dropping like 45 song projects. Like why? Like what is the strategy behind streaming? It's about streaming. Like trying to like get the most out of that.
Yeah. Shit. Well, then how many minutes do you need for it to count as an actual stream?
I think it's like a minute. I think it's like a minute 30, right?
Yeah, people need to start having minute 30 records.
And I'll take
that minute 45. Boom.
That's it. Yep. Yeah.
Play it little kid.
Yeah, bro. Because it's like, yo, I heard this. Like, where's the rest of the song? Now I gotta listen to it again, get another stream.
Yeah.
And it's crazy with the podcast game, because podcasting is like, like for example, my retention time is like 40 minutes. So like, each view of a podcast that I'm getting is like 40 minutes instead of one song. So that's like 40. That's like listening to a song, whatever that math is, like 8 times, 10 times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And podcasting, we're not getting anything back from Apple yet.
Okay.
Or Spotify. They're doing it on the. I saw a number and it said out of Spotify, 75% is music, 25% is podcasting. So, but the podcast side is not getting any bread yet. And the podcast listenership, they're listening longer than what they are for a song. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
they got to work that out.
They got to. I heard it's going to come soon because it's the same time on an app, right? It's the same. So you got to find a way to. I think Apple's going to debut like paying for podcasts soon. You got, and these bags are going around, bro. Joe Rogan just signed a $100 million deal with Spotify.
I'm trying to tell you,
it's like baseball contracts.
The podcast bag is the new bag.
Yeah.
It's the biggest bag, I think.
And everyone is trying to do a podcast now. You got, whether you call it a podcast or just on a show, like you got Fat Joe moved to it. Yeah. I think Khaled started a podcast.
Yeah.
The pandemic had a lot of people starting podcasts. Have you done it?
Pandemic showed you could do anything.
Yeah. Have you done any touring yet?
Been on tour? No.
Yeah.
Never been on tour. Don't know what that's like.
Do you have any aspirations to find out, or you kind of just want to be like the studio guy and just hold it down?
I think my job is done after the record's done. So
that's okay.
If they drag me on tour, then I guess I'm going. But I ain't trying to. I'm not
Shit,
waiting by the bus.
They making music on tour. Bro, they had shout out to, this is the first time I've ever seen this. That's why I got a shout out to Berg, like Hitmaker. He had the setup in the yacht.
Yeah.
That was some shit. Have you ever seen that before?
I mean, you can with the Apollo interface, you can set up anywhere.
No, for sure. But I'm saying, have you seen that vibe, like the yacht in the cabin of the yacht? I was like, damn, I had to give him like.
Nah, Hitmaker does it on another level.
Yeah, man. I was like, fuck what the acoustics sound like. You're in a yacht, bro. That shit.
Nah, Hitmaker does it on another level.
Yeah. Is it easier to mix records now? Like, is it?
Everything is easier. Everything is definitely easier now than it was before.
Yeah,
I've learned so much, soaked in so much game that it's second nature. A lot of things is second nature in music to me now.
Yeah,
like it was back in like when I first started.
Yeah. Do you mix? You use FL right now?
Yeah.
And then you mix on Pro Tools, or you mix in FL, or?
I mix on Pro Tools. So I'm mixing Pro Tools, recording Pro Tools, mix on Pro Tools.
Dope.
The dials are pretty much the same.
Yeah.
So I can slide drums in on Pro Tools too, and still get the same type of thing going.
Do you have any we could get a little geeky with our producer talk. Do you have any like VSTs? I mean, I don't know how much sauce you want to share. Like,
oh yeah, I got all the VSTs.
Like, what are you using right now? Like, what is the
typical Omnisphere,
right.
Serum,
right?
Nexus for the trap shit. Trillion for the bass. That's pretty much it.
And as far as drum sounds, are you downloading packs, or are you
not downloading packs? I pretty much got custom drums. So
you make your own packs, or?
Yeah, I have my own drums. So drums that I've like old school drums that I've either gotten like mixed or mastered. That have already came out on records, I kind of just keep those,
sample those and shit.
Yeah. Just kind of just take the midis from those.
Some producers are getting an extra bag. I don't want to say any names, but some producers are putting out drum packs and shit, and for like the 50 piece.
I don't think nobody would be interested in my drum pack.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
I don't know.
I always say I feel like my drums are my weakness in my production game. Like my melody and my sample skills are better than I'm not a percussionist. I'm more of a melody, and I like writing melody and flipping samples and shit. So yeah, I feel you on that. I mean, you got a Grammy. You got a Grammy, fam. Like,
you could see.
The Smitty drum pack, like you have Grammys, dog. Like, what could we sell, Smitty? Let's do it. Like,
we selling records right now, man. I'm blessed with that, man. Selling records.
Yo, tell people where they could follow you on Instagram, on social media.
Man, Smitty Beats _ simple as that. On Instagram, on Twitter. I don't have a Facebook. No, I don't have a Facebook, but you can follow me on Smitty Beats _ I follow back, man.
Is there any advice you have for some up and coming producers, engineers that want to get into the game?
Stay patient. Stay at it. Stay patient. It's not going to happen tomorrow. If it does happen tomorrow, pray that it happens the next day. And if it happens the next day, stay humble through the process, because you can get caught up in it. You can't. It's the life. It's what everybody seeks in life sometimes. But you can get caught up in it. But if you just stay patient, stay true to yourself, then you should be good.
How do you feel about some producers would be overly cautious about making sure their shit is copywritten, and some producers just send their shit around not caring? Like, how do you feel on that?
I feel like you should be in the medium.
Okay.
I don't feel like you should immediately be, if you've never had a big placement, then I don't think you should be so. I think you should be on top of your business. But I even have some people hit me sometimes and be like, I just sent this beat off, or I sent this, and they put vocals on it, and I'm already asking for for them to pay. I'm like, well, you guys are asking for money, but they haven't even came out with the record yet. You're scaring, like, you don't want to scare off your...
Okay, let's clear that up for the people, Smitty, because how does that process work? Because even producers, it gets a little tricky, because when you put money and business in with the creative process, you can't mix those. You got to keep those things separate.
You got to keep them separate.
Exactly.
Got to keep them separate. You got to keep the creative side of making music and the business side of getting your money. You got to keep that separate. And that space in between it is the words patience. The patience should be that word in between it, man. It sometimes takes months. Sometimes it takes a full year to get paid on records.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you recommend for, producers to make sure they have split sheets before the session?
Sure you're taking care. Make sure you're taking care of your business, but you don't want to make sure you're so much on your business that you scare anybody from doing business with you.
Okay, that makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to, the artist just gets out the booth and says, well, wait, I'm gonna give you the bounce. Well, here's the split sheet. Well, here's this. Well, here's this. Well, here's my email. How do I get paid? This and that. Wait till that shit comes out. Wait till that shit starts gaining attention. If you haven't been compensated, then you start taking care of the steps that should get you compensated.
So this is interesting to me, Smitty. So you're saying don't worry about the splits not at the session, but worry about the splits before the release?
Worry about all that when they asking for them files. Like, yo, that song is dope. We're gonna get this mixed. All right, so you need the stems and all that. Okay. So that's when we start talking that business. When you're
start sending stems.
When it's a go on the record, and even sometimes when you send stems, it's not a for sure thing.
Right.
Damn it, when you see the track number with the title and your credit, that's when you should start making those steps forward.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? But I've seen it so many times that so many young producers, they immediately get caught up in the money that they lose sight of the craft. You know what I'm saying?
But then it gets tricky too, right? Because you hear so many stories about producers not getting paid and shit.
That's producers that just don't know how to handle their business.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? There's a difference. You can, I get paid, so I know, you can, it's just about knowing how to handle your business.
But a lot of people don't know this process, you know what I'm saying? Like the order of it, like how does it go?
Yeah.
So, after this session, whatever, sign splits, I guess you do that at least at the session? Or?
Yeah, as a producer, I mean, I would, if it's a pretty well-known artist, I would, at least wait to see what they're gonna do with the record.
Gotcha.
I mean, in my instance, any artist, I wait to see what they're gonna do with the record.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's easy to cease and desist something when the business is bad, then or not even cease to desist, but say you because this happened to me, where an artist might have felt like they got away with a free beat. You know what I'm saying? Let that karma hit them the way it's gonna do them. You know what I'm saying? But in your eyes, it can only be good karma, because what if that record's a big hit?
Right, you're gonna get your money some way, whether you got to go to court for it or whatever.
Not even that, but even if the artist got to come back, you know what I'm saying? The artist might have to come back. Like, man, you got that sound that gave me that hit. I need to come back. Well, you didn't come, but you never paid for this. There's a way you can. There's always a way you can approach it and a way you can handle it to where you don't. It doesn't necessarily have to be like some legal thing, but it can just be some street shit to where it's like, I'm not fucking with you no more.
Yeah.
Congratulations. But
chalk it up and keep it moving.
Yeah, that's the last one, and that's the only one.
Yeah.
You feel me?
I mean, shit, Smitty's got a Grammy, so do you charge up front now? Talk your shit. Does that change like right when the Grammy happens?
It changes. So it started to change when All the Way Up happened. But when that Grammy happened, I started to just me and my managers, Cool and Dre, we just started to be more concrete in our answers.
Got you.
And what it is that financially I deserve for working on certain records, for mixing certain records, and everything else.
That's dope that you have mentors like that, right? Because you wouldn't really know, right? Like if you didn't, even if with a Grammy, it's like, damn, what do I charge now? Like, what am I worth? You still don't know.
Right. And to literally get on the phone and ask them those questions and to tell them, how do you guys feel? what do you guys think I should be charging and this and that? And for them to be like, listen, it's this, and boom, if it's not that, it's a waste of your time.
Yeah.
You know, understand that. And it's worked out ever since. And that, you know, has helped me with that and Jim Jones's Quarantine Studios.
Damn.
So I'm a part of that as well. Along
Damn,
with
you know what?
Dre.
We got to put Jim Jones. When we were talking about the list of like the best ears in the game, we put Fat Joe there. I think we got to put Jim Jones in there
Jones,
too,
yeah.
because his ear is crazy. He's always working with new artists and
Jim Jones, and he has an incredible work ethic. Jim Jones,
he's like an A&R. He's like a built-in A&R too.
Yeah,
like
definitely up there for sure.
That's
Shout out
what's
to
up.
Jim Jones.
That's what's up, Smitty. I appreciate you coming through, bro.
Man,
being so
appreciate you
humble
having me.
and we here, bro. Anything you need, anything you want to tell the people, Smitty Beats is the IG handle, right?
Yeah, Smitty Beats _
Smitty Beats _ and that's the goal. Just keep moving, keep working, keep putting out these records, and let's do it. I appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you too, man.